Okay, guys, very welcome back to the show. And as I said to Brendan, we're in a fancier setting here than we were last time. It's Mr. Brendan Browne from Wheatus, one of my first guests on the show, and I really, really appreciate him. Back when I was recording this thing on a mobile phone in my kitchen on Skype that nobody
Yeah,
knew.
you let nothing stop you, man. Nothing can stop
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So it looks a little bit fancier here today, man. We're here to talk about the Whopper tour that you guys have got coming up, and
Yep.
particularly the Irish side of things. So, like, you start off on the 24th in Belfast, the 25th, you're in Gleneagle down in Kerry. Thursday, October 26th, Cyprus Avenue down in Cork. Friday, October 27th, you are in Monroe in County Galway. Saturday, October 28th, the Townhouse in Castlederg, County Tyrone. And Sunday, October 29th, you finish in Whelans in Dublin. Is this your biggest Irish tour so far?
It may indeed be. I think we might have done an eight show tour. How many is this in Ireland alone?
That's six so far.
Right. I think we might have done eight one time, but we try and get to like the little nooks and crannies, right? Not stay on the main path. So,
Yeah.
like I always talk about the show we did in Newry one time that was just killing. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we love it, man. I mean, I don't like to have a day off. It's you go out there, you want to play every night, you know. The other thing is there's another kind of tour that we could do. We could do a lot of bands do like 9 or 10 dates in the big cities only, and then they go home. And we don't like that either. That just feels like you don't even get started. You know, we like to get good at what we do, get better at it, find new things out about the songs as we're playing them in front of people, and play more. You know, just play more.
Yeah, but some of those venues are quite big though as well. Like you are still hitting, we'll say Dublin, Cork, and Belfast would be the main ones, and then you're hitting like in and around then. And you were saying Newry was good. I'd imagine Castlederg, not too far from Newry, same
Yeah,
kind of crowd up north, rowdy,
looking
be good
looking
gig as well.
forward to it. Yeah, it's gonna be we just want to take the roof off. You know, let's go. Like let's do a good
Yeah.
one. You know.
The last time we were talking, we spoke off camera, everything was tits up, and we won't go into that. But how have you found yourself? You guys have been back touring now in America for a while. How good is it to kind of get back on the road?
It's fantastic. It's what we're meant to do. You know, I mean, you can't stay home. It just feels wrong. But we got to be careful because you know if I get sick and I can't sing because COVID, I had COVID last May, and if somebody told me I had to play a show with that sore throat that I had, nope, not happening. It's, you know, so I mean, imagine being an Olympic cyclist with a busted leg or something. It's just not going to happen. So, and I'm not an Olympic level anything, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter because you can't do it. You can't do the girl voice. You can't do the bit. You know, the thing that people come to see, pay to see. So, but we're going to be careful. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that the bus doesn't get sick and just proceed with caution to make sure that every one of these shows gets their show. You know, every one of these towns deserves a show. So we're going to be careful for them, you know.
Yeah. What kind of precautions will you have to take maybe that you were thinking maybe 5 or 6 years ago that
Well,
you
you
would?
won't see much of me at the merch booth. But you know, I'm going to be wearing a mask unless it's time to play the show. We have a few precautions that we take vaccinated. Obviously, we're going to do there's some nasal sprays and we're going to do have testing on the bus, make sure that if it kicks off, we get it early, you know. So on and so forth. We're going to do everything that is in our power to make sure that these shows happen, that nobody gets uh, sick. So yeah.
Yeah. I found over here since shows have started coming back and bands have been visiting Ireland again that there's a massive hunger for music again because it was taken away from people for so long. Have you found that being back on the road over there?
Oh yeah. In the States it's kicked off for us in a way that has never been. You know, I mean, we were always much bigger in Ireland or England or Australia or even parts of mainland Europe, and now we're touring the States every year at least a few months, and it's the song has come to a place that I think maybe has gone beyond its time. You know, it's the 2000s. It was floating around, kicking around, you know. But now it's in people's hearts in a way that we couldn't have predicted. It's really quite wonderful, and we're content to follow it and do everything it says.
250 million views, I believe, on the original video now on YouTube. That is insane, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's I can't even get my head around that. You look at the Spotify numbers are equally baffling. I think that song is just it just means something to people in a way that they can put themselves into it. It becomes their own. You can sing along with lots of music, but there are only a few pieces of music where I feel like I'm singing my song, and it's somebody else's, and I feel like Teenage Dirtbag might be available for people that way. It's like you can turn it into your tune. Doesn't matter what your pronouns are. Doesn't matter where you come from. Nothing matters. You can put yourself into that, and then as a human experience, you can make it your tune. It can be your tune.
Does it make you feel old if I say to you it's considered a classic now?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'll be turning 50 on the road this year, October 11th. Yeah, so we're out there on the tour bus when for the big 50, and I couldn't be happier about that. I don't want to be home for it. I want to be out on the road playing shows. I want to
You
die
don't
on.
look 50.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But I want to die on the road. I don't want to sit around. I want to be like Willie Nelson or Bruce Springsteen or one of these guys. Of course, I won't be as big as them, but it's the thing of it. You get out and just do what you do and keep going.
Yeah. I've seen over on your YouTube page over the last couple of years, you've been doing covers from, we'll say, Green Day to, I think it was One Direction, a few other bands like that. Is that something, are you going to incorporate any covers into your set for this tour, or is that something that's you're not really planning?
We have a few. Yeah, we have a few covers. We did the cover challenges that we were doing. Wilson Phillips, The Darkness, Growing on Me. Tunes we really love, bands that we really love. We're gonna keep them alive. We're gonna keep them alive, and that always kind of comes last. You get your own ducks in order first, and then you add other people's tunes. So, but we're definitely gonna keep some on tap for fun.
Yeah. And in terms of you guys, have you been writing over the last couple of years? Is there anything in the pipelines for you guys?
Oh yeah. So as you know, maybe we're finishing the 2020 version of the album. It's got 20 songs on it. It's the original record plus 20 from over the year, plus 10 from over the years that kind of sounded like they belonged on the first album, and that's one of the reasons we never did it. So we kind of put that all together and have the main version of the new recording of the old album, and then a sort of alternate universe version of it, and also got album 7 has been kicking around. We've been trying to get that done through this whole process. COVID's really screwed everything up, obviously, but our 7th studio album is something we've been working on in the shadows, and we got I think three songs from that one on that we'll be able to perform. So we're still in recording mode all the time, always trying to come up with something new and find some new sounds. And we've never ever tried to go back to Teenage Dirtbag style. Thought, don't touch that, leave that be. You could only screw it up. But it's just we're lucky. We're a super lucky band. We survived a lot of stuff that we really shouldn't have, and we're fortunate enough to be invited back over to play for you all, and we're going to make the most of it.
It's the viable way though to kind of try and make a living from the business now, isn't it? When you put aside records and albums, you kind of need to be on the road now. And I see a lot of bands touring more than they ever have been.
Yeah, you got to get out there. You got to make, and you can't just can it. You got to bring something to people that they didn't expect, that they blows their minds, and make sure that they get something that they are glad they paid for. That's the priority. That's got to happen. So.
Yeah. And in terms of ticket sales for these shows, I know Dublin and Belfast are selling really well at the moment, so people will want to get on their tickets. Is there a chance that any more could be added, any more shows?
There is indeed. We don't have a full routing yet. We're not done. We might be adding some shows. As you said, we're 4 or 5 months out now, and we're about to sell out a ton of these. So get them now while you can. Obviously, if there's demand high enough, we'll move to a bigger place if we need to. That has to be discussed logistically, but we're gonna. And the other thing is people are kind of hurting out there, inflation wise. Cost of living is crazy. We decided to keep the same price from 2019. So we're £20 ticket is all we're willing to ask. And I think that or I hope that gives people who don't typically come to concerts because of the cost a chance to come in and have a good time, you know?
Yeah. 25 euro, £20 for the people up in the north of
Yeah.
Ireland.
Right.
For people that haven't seen you guys before and are thinking about going to a show, what can they expect?
Well, we don't do set lists. We learn
Okay.
approximately 50 or sometimes 60 of our tunes, and we prep it all, and we go out there and we ask the crowd to tell us what's first, and we go from that energy, because it's their night, you know. It's not our night; it's their night, and however they feel that moment, you know, mood in the room might have changed over the last 2 hours. You don't know, you know, so they're going to get the show that they want, and we're going to work on being flexible enough to deliver it, and that's how it is.
Yeah. Have you ever done a show and not played Teenage Dirtbag?
No. Well, everyone's definitely getting their dirtbag. You don't need to ask for that one. It's a guarantee, you know.
I could imagine there'd be kind of maybe scenes of rioting if that didn't happen.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't want to know about it, you know.
Actually, I think your last tour over here, I think you guys played the Grand Social in Dublin, and there's your version of Teenage Dirtbag there has 162,000 views on YouTube as well. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh wow. Well, thank you, Dublin. Thank you.
And of course, you've done Oscuelga as well, which is out there on YouTube for people that want to check it out. I'll put the link underneath this video. Yeah, a few people I've seen were actually looking for lyrics for that, if that's something you ever have.
You know, since my gran spoke Gaelic, or so we've been told. We didn't get to know her. She was from Roscommon, and she died when my dad was really young. But when the boys came over to teach me how to sing the song, it was all phonetic because I have no formal language training for Irish. So we worked it out, and I found the words humming around in my head afterwards, and I was just getting scared that I was going to like accidentally start knowing it in Irish, you know. It's really like roll up in Germany somewhere, start singing it in Irish, and that'd be great. But the fact of the matter is that I think that it's almost like the universe calling you back to where you came from in some meaningful way, and saying, you know, you have to know this part of it. You have to know the Gaelic version, you know. And I have the lyrics. I think the lyrics are floating around somewhere, probably in an email. So I'll search around for it and see if I can send it through Matthew to you. But
cool.
Yeah.
Galway is pretty close to Roscommon. If you've never been to Roscommon, maybe you'll pass by there on the way or something.
Yeah, there's talk of I have a cousin, my cousin Kathy. We've been discussing trying to maybe make something happen in Roscommon, but you know, we haven't put it in the routing as yet, but we'll see.
Interesting fact for you: Bank Holiday Sunday, it will be October 29th when you guys hit Dublin. That's traditionally a night where, because everyone is normally off on the Monday, that's the night where all the Halloween parties are. So maybe you might get a lot of people dressed up at the gig, which would be pretty fun.
We're fine with that. You know, we like to have fun. We're Americans, so Halloween is a real thing for us, you know. And however anybody wants to identify or dress up or show up, everybody's welcome, you know, everybody.
Yeah, and perfect. I'm going to put the link for the tickets underneath this video. It was a pleasure to see you, man. I'll hopefully see you on the 29th in Dublin. And thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you, Maurice. Thanks for having me again, man.
Cheers, man. All the best.
Take care. I'll see you.